Hello and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Robin Finney. I'm your Oracle, Intuitive, and Authenticity Guide. And every Wednesday I come live to bring you a message. So before we dive into today's messages, I wanted to just check in and see how you've been doing lately, and just see if you've noticed anything with your energy, if you've noticed any shifts happening. If you've been following my posts recently, you can see that my theme this year is Let It Be Messy, and it's been pretty messy. I recognize, like, I know so many of us can identify with this, but I certainly do for myself with just being a perfectionist and wanting to put, like, my quote best self out there and always look good, always look together, because I think that's what people want. And really, it's a protection for me, from allowing people to really enter in and see me through all of it, whether it's through the joy, the playfulness, the silliness, the exciting times, the glamour. Like, those are all part of me. The adventurous, like, that's all part of me. And also, like, the sad, the hard, the heartache, the challenges, the trials, that's all part of me too. And so I've really been called this year to step into that and just show up, because as an authenticity guide, that's what I support my clients in, is really owning who you are at your core and not letting that person hide or be afraid to allow that person to shine and come forth. So I'm not telling you have to go and post like your ugly cry photos, and not ugly, it's just a different view, like I have, but just inviting you to just really show up more and look at who you can show up more for in your life and kind of release. I even recognized last week, or over the weekend, I was going through something, and I don't reach out. I recognized, I was like, I don't reach out to my friend group, and my friends are really great at reaching out to me when they're going through something. And I kind of just like close off, go into my shell. And one of my friends just got a hit to call me, and she was like, why didn't you call me? And I was like, because I don't let people in like that. And so that's part of my being messy, is learning to step into that more. So I'm sharing that. I got a lot of really great resonant comments. I know a lot of you really related to that and saw yourselves in those posts. So thank you for showing up and just identifying that for you and allowing yourself to be seen in that way too. And just know that I'm always holding space for you, and so you can always reach out. And then with that, I would say that I've also felt like the shift in energy over the past couple days. And I don't always identify with like the calendar, like our traditional calendar year with January 1st and the new year. It's usually like feels kind of rushed to me. And at least in the northern hemisphere, we're in winter, and winter is a time of hibernation and rest and reflection. And so I've definitely been in that space. And so it usually it's like, oh, I'm not ready to like set goals and start like really stepping into that. My body's still tired. I'm still kind of feeling into everything that happened in the previous year. And so I learned a couple years ago of human design, and over the past weekend, I don't know enough about this. I posted a resource in my story on Instagram, so you can find it on Wandering Ant, or my Wandering Ant Facebook story. That will invite, you can read more about this, but we entered, I think the sun entered into gate 41 over the weekend, and that was the sign of the human design new year. So if you're really in tune with that, or you're someone who's in tune with the sun and the moon, or you're highly sensitive and you just feel these energies, you may have felt like that shift. And also with that shift, a big release like beforehand, because I actually had several people reach out to me and say, wow, I actually had a really big sob too. And I that's what I had posted. So I know that so many of you are identifying with that. So I wanted to let you know that, hey, if you feel like you see so many people like moving on and you're like, what? I haven't even started yet. It's totally okay. You can start whenever feels aligned for you. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this new shift. And I am so excited. I got a download to offer and relaunch Intro to Oracle cards as a live course. I had offered it several times last year, and then I had decided to turn it into a digital course, and then that just kind of never really came to fruition. And I recognized that I'm really meant to be live with people, like really engaged with them, hold space for you in a container. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be launching that again soon. I dropped the link in the description so you can join the wait list, just so you can hear more when it does, when registration's open, and learn more to see if it aligns and is a fit for you. But I've been receiving some new insights and downloads, so I'll be like updating the course from last year with some new bonuses and just, yeah, some new shifts in perspective. So I'm really excited about that. So I invite you to, yeah, step into that if you're interested. So with that, for today's Wisdom Wednesday, I'm pulling from the Starseed Oracle, and I just did a really juicy spread around my business and what I'm calling in this year from this deck yesterday. So I'm excited to tune in today and see what comes. So if you're watching live, or if you are catching the replay, and hashtag replay if you're watching the replay, I invite you to tune in and just take a deep breath, and then choose a number 1, 2, or 3, and that will be your message for today. Okay, got your number? All right. So for my number 1s, your message is weight of the world. It says boundaries, let go. It's not yours to carry. All right, so for my number 1s, I invite you to listen to this for yourself, maybe take some notes and just see what aligns for you. Weight of the world. You don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's, to stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders, to put on your oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard to not feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. However, you can't take on its problems from a place of energetic depletion. This card is thanking you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing it is likely unsustainable. This isn't easy to say you should switch off to the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taken out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. So instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nourishing practice such as meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature. Once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. At the day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. You can pick up again the next morning if you choose so, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. And the Starseed inquiry is, what are you carrying that isn't even yours? So for my number 1s, your message is weight of the world. And I think that if this is your message, it's going to hit you pretty spot on. And especially for my highly sensitives out there and empaths, it's really easy for us to take on the stress of the world and the problems of the world, or of our friends, family, those in our close circle. And it's really important to support your energy and give to yourself. Nurture yourself first. And I've started practicing, so I'm very solid with my meditation practice. I meditate every morning before I do anything, before I pick up my phone, anything like that, so that I can really tune in and clear my energy and ground myself for the day. And I've also started just a few days ago to work on a little bit each day. I'm starting with 15 minutes of working on my stuff, my business, before I jump into any other work that I'm doing for anybody else, so that I'm giving to myself first, so that then I can give to others. So if you're my number 1 today, really lean into that and give to yourself first, and find ways to nourish yourself and cleanse your energy. So Okay, for my number twos, your message is star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Okay, let's see what this is for my number twos. The stars are constantly showering emanations onto the crystalline grid of the earth. When things are when things are in balance, the planet also sends information back to the stars. Many star seeds have come to Earth at this time to help shift the planet vibrationally, to activate the ancient codes of wisdom that humanity has forgotten. And all of that information is stored in the crystalline grid. If you pull this card, you may be being called to begin working with the stars and the crystalline grid of the Earth. Some people believe that the crystalline grid of the Earth anchors divine cosmic frequencies onto the planet. You may be guided to journey to particular places on Earth to unlock these cosmic codes with your presence. You may also be interested in a practice called star bathing. You can look up, if you go to the starseedoracle.me, you can look up guidance around that. This card commonly arises because you're here to connect with the crystalline grid of the Earth, either in your hometown or by traveling to other places without quite knowing why. It can also mean that your light body, the energy body in its highest form, is being activated. If this resonates, take things extra slow in order to integrate this change of vibration. And the starseed activation is, place your hand on your heart and say aloud, I open myself up to receiving the wisdom of the crystalline grid beneath me. May the stars and the earth inform and heal me. And as they do, may it heal the earth too. So the star bathing, this card is really for those of you who, you're healers. You're out there, you're holding space for the world. You might be a light worker, and you resonate with that, with what the stars are. Like, you go outside and you may gaze and just be in awe and wonder of them. So take some time and stand outside and just bask in that, in the beauty of that. And then also just notice what pulls. It could be that you're feeling a pull to go visit a certain place. That could be in your community, somewhere that you may be driving and then just find yourself walking in the door of somewhere and you're like, I have no idea why I'm there, but just trust. Or you could be finding that you're traveling, you're ready to travel somewhere and you're not quite sure where that is. So just lean into that, or that could even look like you're creating something new and it doesn't make any sense, but you're being called to it. So lean into that. So that is for my number twos. And finally, for my number threes, Earth School. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. This is for my number threes. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps with this understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Pulling this card can also mean that you're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be structured learning, such as university, school, or a training course. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we grow as souls while we're here on Earth. And the Starseed Soul Inquiry is, how are you being called to grow or learn? So for my number threes out there, Earth School is your message. And this kind of goes back to to my post that I did with my sobbing, and it just like showed up, and how in the past I would kind of like try to push that down and think like something is wrong. I don't want to feel this. And now I look at it like I'm so grateful when the tears come, because I know that I'm releasing, and I know when I release, it's creating more space for something new to be activated, new energy to come in. So if you're in that space and you've been going through really difficult times, just give yourself so much grace and compassion, and just know that it's temporary, and you will get through it. And the only way out is through. So lean in to that and know that it's part of that. And then also this message could be calling for you to, sign up for, if there's a program you've been curious about, a course you want to take, intro to Oracle cards, you want to learn about that. Or you're being called to just deepen your knowledge of a specific area. Then use this as an invitation to really dive in and take baby steps. Start small, and go from there. So, all right. Well, this is Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the last Wednesday of January, which is hard to believe. But thank you. Please comment and let me know how the messages resonate with you today. And I will be holding space for you all week. Thank you, and have a beautiful Wednesday.